process started many years ago from everybody in this room wanting what Edmund and Norman and other things wanted, not only for ourselves but for our kids, for the quality of life issues. And I think it goes back to the want that we wanted. We wanted something good. We wanted something tangible we could have, we could possess. I look out at our neighbors and all of our friends and old teachers, and you know, we can't thank enough, Steve and I can't thank you enough for you all making this possible for our community.
We had a bond vote January of 2013, and we're just finishing all of the projects that the citizens voted for, beginning with our remodel projects all the way through new construction of 2 buildings. It's groundbreaking, it's historical, it's the largest bond ever voted. It came with a bit of a tax increase, so it's an investment in kids. The citizens of El Reno spoke very loudly. That pass rate on the bond was like 76% or 77%. So it was a large majority of citizens in El Reno who said, you know, our kids are worth it. And so they invested not only a little bit, because it was a hefty price tag. You know, $45 million is a lot of money. And every school got something. We have remodeled Hillcrest, Rose Witcher. We remodeled Robler Middle School and the high school and the junior high. Everyone got something out of this bond, whether it was new paint and floor coverings, all the way through, you know, some major design improvements.
Just the fact that we have a lot of new going on in El Reno. They take a great care of this building for me. They came in and put in new lights, just the room we're in right now, they completely redid. And so when you start to see that newness, it brings about a sense of pride. So it's brought new people to town. There's people that's becoming more aware of our program here. We run off of a waiting list right now. That's how many students that we have involved. Our virtual school went from 3 the first year to it's continually climbing. We'll probably have 20 kids in a blended virtual this year. So the fact that we have all this new across El Reno, not just in the school system, but within the city, it's bringing El Reno forward. So we're seeing a lot of new faces come to town too. The other side of that is I think we have a new sense of pride in our community. And I've been here since 1982. This is home to me now, and so we see a lot of great things from it.
The 3 things that we really focused on: student safety, long-term viability of the buildings, and access to technology were the 3 things. Every school now has a storm shelter that's underground except for Rose Witcher. Couldn't go underground at Rose Witcher with our 1st and 2nd graders because that building's in a 100-year floodplain. They're F5 rated, the same as our underground storm shelters. All of those storm shelters are open to the public. This last spring, citizens rest easier when those alarms and sirens went off. We open those storm shelters every time there's a warning that affects Canadian County. So if a storm is imminent, those storm shelters are open.
When you enter the building now, we have a security vestibule. Parents are able, or guests are able to go in, but then they have to buzz into the office. They've got a button in the office that lets them in and lets them talk to them. So no one's able to enter our building without buzzing in and checking into the office. And so that's a really nice feature.
The first thing that the bond included was taking off 2 of our elementary schools. So we took Webster and we took Lincoln, and we grade shifted. Lincoln is a standalone 3rd and 4th grade up on 27th Street in an incredible new building designed by PBK and built by CMS Willowbrook. The STEM Center is also a new building that we built, and it's the Jeff Mills STEM Center, and it's over on Rock Island. An incredible design that was designed mostly through what high school students recommended and said that they wanted. On average in Oklahoma, a school district only gets a new building about once every 45 years. And we had the opportunity to add 2 new buildings, and we want them to be 100-year buildings.
It's an exciting time. We fully integrated the freshmen into the high school. They were kind of back and forth. They were housed at the junior high, but they were high school kids, so it was kind of a mixture, and now they're fully high school students. We are fully a 9 through 12 campus. That being said, we have about 850 students on this campus now, which is as large as El Reno High School has ever been. We have 230 in the sophomore class, which is the largest class that El Reno High School's ever had. So we're growing, we're expanding, we have a new building. We've added new teachers that have come from the junior high to accommodate the freshmen that have moved up. So it's just a lot of changes. For some, it's kind of overwhelming at first, doing so many different things, but ultimately in the end, it's going to be really neat.
In the fall of 2012, when I was in the process of interviewing for the superintendency here, the A through F report cards came out for the first time, and they were devastating to this district. At that time, we came out with the only F school in Canadian County. Devastating. And so job one for us was to find out why. And it was an easy find. We had to shift our thinking. We had to turn some things around quickly in the area of early literacy. The first thing we had to do was take ownership of our inability to get kids to achieve. We failed. And the first thing we had to do was admit that what we were doing was not working. And so beginning in January of 2013, that was job one. While we were getting ready to prepare for new buildings, we had to do new and innovative and just different ideas. So we switched a few things that we were doing, but the one thing that we did was dig into our data, and we found that we were not teaching the right curriculum in some areas. We had to beef that up a little bit. Our expectations had to be higher, but the one thing we had to do is we had to focus on every kid. It's foundational learning. Our parents would say, the 3 R's, reading, writing, arithmetic, and that's what we grew up with. And for our kids to be successful and to move to the next level, we have to give them a great foundation. We're really focusing on early literacy and trying to give them what they need in that area. And there's an electricity in the air. You can go to any school today and you'll see some fruits of what we've been doing.
Our focus here at Rose Witcher is definitely reading and increasing their literacy skills, children's literacy skills. We are working this year in flexible reading groups, and that is where it's called Win Time, what I need. And every child will be given specific instruction attuned exactly to what their needs are. So literacy is our main focus here at Rose Witcher. We're going to complement that with STEM instruction through Project Lead the Way, and it's very exciting. STEM encompasses every child, and it reaches their gifts. Maybe they don't excel in math, or maybe they don't excel in reading, but maybe STEM is the area that we can reach all of our children. And it's a higher order thinking curriculum. It is critical problem solving. It is inventing, it is creating. It's the highest level of cognitive development. So our strong literacy focus with STEM is going to create amazing students.
Typically, at the junior high, it has been divided by grade level. One thing that we have done is I split it in 7th and 8th grade are mixed together, and that the teachers are by department. And so Lucas Hall is math and science. And so even though we do not necessarily have a STEM center, the math and science teachers are together.
We're collaborating with Redlands Community College several different ways. We share a science teacher right now on our campus. We have concurrent enrollment that's ongoing for our juniors and seniors. We have a great partnership with Canadian Valley Career Tech, and so those are career-ready things that have been around a while, but it's a refocus for us on getting kids in the areas of interest that they're most motivated to take the next step. And so our goal is not to do anything more than to get kids ready for the next step. You can build all the new buildings you want, but if you don't know where those children were last night, and you didn't help them get to where they needed to go today, that's all the difference. The new buildings are exciting and they help, and we're excited about them, but teaching a child is more than a building, and sort of if you build it, they will come kind of mentality, and they have, and that's what's really exciting.